Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome back to Sacred Highlands Podcast. Before we begin today's conversation, I'd like to invite you and our guest to arrive fully in this moment. Wherever you are, gently soften your shoulders, and let's take a breath together. Breathe in for 4. Hold for 4. And breathe out for 4. Let's do that once more. In for 4. Hold for 4. And out for 4. Thank you for taking that moment with us. Today's episode is about slowing down, listening to the body, and understanding how touch can become a gateway to deep healing. Still with us? Wonderful. Just a gentle reminder, English isn't our first language, and now and then you might notice a few slips or imperfections in our conversation. If you're someone who appreciates authenticity over perfection, you're in the right place. Thank you for your patience and enjoy the rest of the episode. Today I'm joined by Emilia, a holistic therapist whose work bridges massage therapy, the nervous system, and emotional release. In this conversation, we explore massage not just as a physical treatment, but as a somatic and therapeutic experience that meets the whole person, body, mind, and nervous system. Welcome back, Emilia.
Hello, it's very nice to be here again. Hello, everybody.
So to begin, I'd love to ask, why did you choose massage therapy as one of the treatments you offer? What drew you to working with the body through touch?
It started very early, actually, when I was about, 6 maybe, I think. My mom had very sore shoulders because she was working at a desk. She was working a lot with a computer, so she would complain about the pain in her shoulder and neck area. So I would always want to help her. And one day, I suppose, I started just massaging it, and she found it very beneficial. But my hands would get very tired very quickly because, of course, I didn't know the position then yet, and I was standing with my arms up. So, imagine that was pretty sore after a few minutes. And I remember even thinking okay, I quite like it. I like, helping somebody with pain management, but then I was thinking, okay, how am I going to do it if my hands get sore and arms get so sore? But yes, there I am here, and absolutely I don't have to hold my hands up anymore. I mean, in some rare situations, but not for long enough, so that's all okay. Yes. And I think during the whole journey with massage, because I wasn't doing it, I started doing it actually professionally only when I was 38, so quite late. I used to be a fitness instructor, I used to be very sporty and stuff like that, but never touched the massage area at all. And then when I was doing a beauty course, I was meant to do something else completely. But when I started massaging, and you were one of the first clients, I found it just amazing how, you can work with the body, how you can help somebody, especially with, stiff muscles, joints. And the most important for me, the pain. So during the time I was practicing it, I think I was really listening to the people I was massaging, because for me it wasn't, I could see pretty quickly it wasn't only physical matter. So I would always ask a lot of questions. I would need a lot of time, the most out of all my co-workers, I would say, even at school, I would need the most time before and after the massage, because I was so interested in it, and why it was caused the way it was, and I would ask about the lifestyle, diet, plenty things actually. And then I got to the point when I discovered that it was connected to the traumas as well. And dig into it much deeper, and realize that there is a lot of stuff going on and emotions stored in our body causing the muscle tightness. So yes, that's why I think it's the calling to help people with pain. The same with Reiki, and that's my way, yes, of being, of working. That's what I love doing.
Many people are familiar with massage, but may not know what makes it holistic. How would you describe holistic massage, and how does it differ from a more standard or purely physical massage?
I mean, a holistic massage is a communication of safety to the nervous system, and the body is treated as a whole, so there is not only the physical manipulation but also working with emotions and trauma stored within the body. With on top of the physical benefits, which are reducing or getting rid of the toxin waste products, moving the oxygen within the body, which also helps with healing the tissue. So that's quite important, yes. In some cases, of course, also, increasing the digestive system, because the flow of the blood and lymph is much better, so it influences other systems within the body as well. So manipulation of the tissue may also move a bit of the fatty tissue within, yes. So then afterwards we have the cleansing process. But with the holistic one, it's much more to it, because we work with the nervous system as well. And once you know that after the traumas, when the trauma passes and our body doesn't process the emotions, okay, we store them in our body, and then it becomes like a loop. So because they still in the body, our muscles are tight. Our brain tells us there is still a danger, which causes the muscle tightness, and vice versa. When we have the muscles tight, it sends the signals to the brain that okay, we are still having something going on. So with a holistic one, is like I would say the perfect environment for the person who is treated, to let it go, to relax. It's not just the physical manipulation, it's also everything else. So it's the music, it's the incenses, it's the breath work at the beginning of the and the end of the treatment. Is also the communication with the client. So the first few questions, which are very important, so that you know who you're dealing with. Yes, some people are more open, some people are more closed, but I would say if somebody comes knowing that it's a holistic massage, they already know a bit about it. So it's like, they already open, the mind is open to it, and then it's easier to speak about stuff like that. And once they feel safe, they also can tell you their life stories. So, it's sometimes it's quite much to hear, because we as people, we think, oh my God, there's, our life is so difficult and stuff like that, until we hear other people's stories, yes. So that's that. And I want to also highlight that with the physical massage, there is a cortisol drop occurrence, but only for a while, whereas with a holistic one, it's stay maintained. So it's like permanent, yes. So that's quite important. And like I said, we regulate the autonomic nervous system. So we try to get out the client of the state of fight, flight, or freeze, which is the autonomic overreaction. Okay. Yes, I said, I think I have mentioned about improving the tissue health, because that goes with both of them, the physical massage and the holistic one. So, we manipulate the tissue, we move a lot of fluid in our body. So I would say it's like for both. And with the last one, it's restoring the client's sense of body awareness. Okay, so it's more like letting them or teaching them how to feel from inside out. So when they go home, they can listen to their body even better, even during the treatment, And I always say, and that's one of the parts of my treatments, when I always say to the client at the end, please don't get up from the bed straight away. Please stay on the bed for a couple of minutes, even if you like more, then please do so, because that's when the integration happens, when they actually have the time to think, oh my God, what's just happened, what I've just felt. And that's the beginning of listening to your body. Whereas, and that's why I try to never book clients, too close as well, to give them that time, and for myself to be relaxed, because if I didn't have time I would be stressed, and of course they would feel it, and I've been there. I know, because when I was stressed, that the treatment never worked that well. And of course, it's like we're a team, so I need to bring the calmness, the relaxation to the table, I would say, as well, okay, so that they feel it and we can work together. And trust, the most important, I would say, trust, because and with it goes the time, because when you're in a rush, the person feels it, the person sees it, and they don't trust it, because they see you stressed, they see you, rushing, so it affects, the client straight away. So yes, and with the holistic massage, we work, I would say, with both hardware, I would call it, and software within the body, because the hardware is the physical one, software is the emotions and the nervous system, okay, which we don't see, but it's still there. We can see the muscles, okay, the tightness, but within it, if we have the emotional energy stored, we need to release it, we need to let it go. So we need to soften the muscle tissue up so that the emotions can surface and the client can let it go. Whereas with a physical one, when we don't speak about it, in some cases, I suppose, if the environment is good enough, it can still happen, but you need to keep it in mind that, everything, like even the music, the certain music I use, for example, because there is, with the music you have different hertz, okay? So that affects your body, that is vibration, that is the frequencies as well. So when you know that it affects your body, then when you choose this, I usually don't choose a certain one. I've subscribed to one, it's called the Pyramid Power on YouTube, and then I just choose whatever comes up, because I feel like it's meant for the client. And in many occasions they say, wow, it's amazing, yes. And especially with Reiki, I read also the description of the music, and it also mostly, I've never heard anybody saying, oh, that's not, that doesn't resonate with me. The other way, oh my God. For example, we were speaking with one client one day, and she was saying about how she couldn't let go, okay? And then I chose the first, music that appeared on my phone, and it was about letting go. And she was like, that's unbelievable. So no, I absolutely do believe in it. Yeah. So like I said, the music, the breath work at the beginning, everything has a reason for being present during my treatment. That's what I would say. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I think, as you said, like, to create a safe space for a client is so important before you start, and
absolutely,
you have to make them safe, and you do it.
Oh, thank you. I hope. I think it's been also practice. It's been the way of trying to help those people and, to understand them, because you treat the person as somebody who has inhibited the body. So you need to look at the whole. Okay, if there is a soreness in the shoulders, for example, there must be a reason for that. It may be a bad posture just, okay, but it may be stored emotions that can't be processed because the person didn't have time for that. So if, for example, like I even had recently actually somebody who used to work at a desk but ages ago, so why does she have still, tight shoulders? Yeah. That already tells me, okay, she doesn't do the job, she doesn't keep the position, maintain the same position, but the stiffness is still there. So it's either, because what also happens when our muscles are tight, let's say the brain keeps telling us, okay, we're in danger, you're not safe, so keep your muscles contracted. Then within the time, the fibroblasts within the muscles, they start cross-lining, so the tissue becomes thicker and less fluid, and then the body recognizes that as the new posture, let's say, okay, so it doesn't let go, it just stays like that, very stiff, very tight. So then, of course, when I do a massage and the person comes back exactly the same, that tells me that they either don't have a proper diet, they intake a lot of toxins, which can build up again. They didn't do aftercare advice, which I told them. So if they go home, drink plenty alcohol, eat junk food, okay, that's what I can expect. But if they do follow, if they do everything and then come back the same, that tells me that it's probably the emotional energy stored somewhere, and that's how I can start kind of questioning as well, maybe, the life, they may open up. They may say, yeah, there's been some traumas, but they don't have to share exactly what happened. Yeah. Okay. But then it would be easier for them to realize what's going on and why we're working this way, not another. Yes. So, yeah, I would say.
Okay, so I'd love to go a little bit deeper now. Can you explain the somatic connection, specifically how the autonomic nervous system mediates the relationship between past emotional trauma and chronic muscle tightness? So you touched a little bit on that already.
I've mentioned that, a bit. So the autonomic nervous system, which branches into two, so we've got parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous system. So the sympathetic nervous system responses for acting when it needs to. Parasympathetic is to rest and digest when we need to, okay? But sometimes the body, when it goes through some traumas, it's like the nervous system gets out of the balance, okay? And that's why we need to work with it to bring it back to the balance, to work properly. And autonomic nervous system acts as a mediator for survival and a bridge between past traumas and physical pain. And when the emotions, the trauma is unresolved, so let's say we go through a trauma and we don't have time to process it enough. Sometimes we can party and plenty things happen in our lives. So let's say somebody dies, or there is I think I've mentioned that before, when there is in one of our episodes, I think with Emma Flair, when, for example, there is a traumatic childbirth, we don't have time to process the emotions, because of course we need to get up within an hour or two to feed the baby, and it's like constant, okay? So we just can't do it, and then it's carried on within our body, and our the emotions, when they are still there, that's what causes to our brain to keeps telling us, as I've mentioned already, no, you're still under a threat. You need to be ready. You need to be, your muscles need to be contracted and stuff like that. That's the somatic memory. And then with the chronic pain within time, what happens, like I've also mentioned, when the fibroblast starts cross-lining, it's called armors, so somatic armoring, which within certain parts of the body, depending on the trauma, because it can be, for example, if there is any sexual abuse, we most likely will close our hips, okay, so they become stiff, and you feel soreness or some issues within the area. If anybody was suppressed from speaking, there may be issue like very tight muscles around your actually in your jaw, around your neck, so that makes sense, yes. And yeah, it's good to also mention about the threat loop, what I said. The brain perceives danger and muscles pre-contract, but it's involuntary, okay? And the body sends signals back to the brain, so we need to break it to stop the process of looping again, yes. Yeah, that I would say.
Okay, so following on from that, what actually happens in the muscles and fascia after a stressful or traumatic event? How does the body adapt its tension patterns depending on our autonomic state?
So after a traumatic event, our body forgets to downshift. Okay, so that's what I've just said, when we don't have time, we go through some trauma, we don't have time to process it, it kind of becomes natural for our body. So many people I've met, they don't feel, for example, they have a bad posture. They don't realize that there is something wrong within their body, okay? Most likely they come when they start experiencing some pain, and then seeing them, the posture and whatever they've been through, if they're happy to share, then I can make the conclusion, okay, it's because, I don't know, you've closed up due to your trauma, or you've been not having the correct posture, you've been doing the repeated movements, so that all affects the muscles, yeah. And with the traumas, we do muscular bracing, so we protect. What's the most important, actually, I would say, and how it's the easiest to understand it, our body is clever enough to protect itself in any danger, when we experience any danger. So we need to protect the most important parts of our body, which is the core. We have the most important organs in there, okay, and the neck. So what most likely we would do, we would take the fetus position, okay, so we curved up, because then we feel safe. It's very natural. The same, when you're, for example, crying very much, you like to curl up, and you feel safe then, yes? So that's already your body telling you that that's the best way of dealing with it, yes? That's all natural, yes. And then like I've also mentioned, we have fascial densification, and then when the fascia, the connective tissue, becomes thicker, less fluid, so there is not much, or the lymph and blood is restricted in there, so it doesn't flow properly, and then you can have waste product or toxins build up. Okay, so then we get the nodes. Okay, we have to deal with them, and that's, I would say, the worst, because it's the most painful bit of the massage. You know yourself. Yes.
Yeah.
So there is always a reason for that, and once I suppose once we understand it, it's easier for both of us. For me to work with the client, and for the client to understand what has happened, what's going on, what I will do to help them to release it. Yes. And then we also, our body, it's depending on if it's depression or anxiety, it already can sense, it can have physical sensations. So when we're quite anxious, we may be jittery, quite jumpy, quite alert. But with depression, we may feel heavier, like sluggish, not wanting to do anything, and I kind of like, I don't know, I feel just not right. I don't want to do anything and stuff like that. Yes.
Yeah.
When you want to just lie down or and just not be bothered with anything. So that's also how our body recognizes that stuff and already reacts to it. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So one of the things I find really powerful in your work is the emphasis of gentleness and safety, which we talked about a little bit. But can you talk about the benefits of holistic approach and why creating a safe container with a gentle first approach is so vital for therapeutic release?
So when we think the way that the body wouldn't release what it feels it needs to protect, then we won't go anywhere. So we need to make sure that we tell the body, whisper to it, you're safe in here, it's time to let go. It's all within that room, that area, nothing goes anywhere. It's between me and you, and we work together. And we can't just attempt the normal massage, especially an aggressive one, because then our gland amygdala, it would, because it's like a brain's threat detector, it would send the signals to our body, oh my God, no, I'm during a danger again, and we would get tight, and the tighter muscles are, the worse for the masseuses to massage them, and therefore release the emotions stored within them. So that makes sense. That's why we need to really create the safe container for the not only the person, the body, but also the mind to feel safe and relaxed. And then they can feel I really can't even cry, I can, because there is many things has happened in my treatment room, and I'm actually, I have to say in here, I'm honored to witness stuff like that, and the emotions coming out, and that people trust me, because that's absolutely so beautiful. And I suppose not everybody can experience that, but thankfully, I think it's also during the fact that I've been very empathetic going through my stuff as well. I think it's made me more empathetic and wanting to help others with the pain. Yes, that's what I would say. And with the aggressive pressure, the body would recognize it as a second assault. So it would really close up even more. And I suppose I've been there. I've had a massage done when it was really deep, without warming the tissue up very well. And I have to say, I had it a good few years ago, and I still remember that. Yes, and when I'm thinking about that person, I'm actually kind of scared to if I was going to be massaged by her again. So that tells you everything, how dangerous it can be, like in the sense of that person may not trust even another masseuse later on, because of course, our brain tells us, okay, it's going to be the same. So it's very hard to break it. So I would really highlight it in here. And with the safe container, I think, whatever I do during my treatment, and it's absolutely not like advertising myself, because I would love other people who don't know about the other masseuses to, if they wish to maybe try it and see how it works for their clients. But from the very beginning, when somebody comes to me, I try to make sure that they feel safe. They know where they are. They know where everything is, like, the toilet, the water, the box of tissues, whatever, everything, okay? So they know everything. They don't feel lost. And I always try to say, like, feel yourself like at home, because that's kind of they room as well at that time, okay? So it's for them, not for me. Yes. Then explanation. So consultation form is the first thing when you need to find out the basic stuff, like contraindications and stuff like that, but also asking questions when you can recognize who are you working with at that moment, because everybody is different, everybody may have different needs and stuff like that. So just, quick conversation, explanation of the treatment, so that they know what's going to happen. They're not surprised, even using a hot towel, for example, at the beginning, I tell them so it's not like, oh, I've got something hot on my back, and I don't know what it is. Yeah. So the explanation of the treatment. Then music is a big part of it. When I also explain that it's certain vibrations, the frequencies. So does that. Not always describe the music, yes, it's more with the Reiki, but at least to tell them that it's like a special music, it's not a random one. So they know that it affects with their energy field and clears the blockages and, like obstacles within their body as well. So, yeah, that's the music. Then essences, oils, I use. For example, for the body massage, I have the most natural oil I've been able to find actually, yes. So it's like a baby oil, but 13 herbs in it. Wow. So yeah, it does. I was wondering at first how it would smell, but it does smell very gentle, very nice. And then I use frankincense oil for the breathing exercises, and we start the treatment from breathing, like proper breathing. And I don't care how long it's going to take. That's the most important part in my treatment to actually start with, because I need to calm the client down. Yeah. And then I know they're ready to go further. I can, work with their body. If they stressed, anxious on the bed, I can't go ahead with the treatment. And I've always felt like that. And sometimes I would spend up to 5 minutes, with the breathing, because I knew I had to make them safe, relaxed, if I wanted to do a proper massage. Otherwise, no way. Okay, I'll be abusing them, especially with a deeper pressure. So that. What else? Aftercare advice. So after the treatment, during the treatment, when it's a very relaxing one, I try not to speak at all, so that they have the full time for themselves. And also I do say things like, it's your time, okay? Please remember, we're here for you, not for me, not for anybody else, for you. And then I think it also the thought of, oh yes, it is for me. It's about me in here, yes? It makes them feel much better, because they feel kind of special, which I think it is true, because if I heard that, I would feel special, yes? Yeah. It's finally, me, yes? Because we do everything for everybody, but we can't find time for ourselves. And also, quite often I say, you can thank yourself for being in here, for taking the time for yourself, for your healing. Because I hear a lot of stories about especially moms being busy with kids and being stressed and etc. So if you want to, and not having time for things like that because of that, So, and for example, some of them, because I have clients who are unwell, okay, so then I try to explain, okay, good for you that you came here because you've started a process of self-healing, and then when you get better, you can help your kids. You can be more present for your kids. Yes, so it's all beneficial, not only for you but for everybody around you. Okay, so that's, I think that's very important. And after the treatment, yes, we have the aftercare. So when I mentioned something else, when it's a deeper pressure, when I use deeper movements during the massage, then I do communicate, but more for their safety. Okay, so I don't want to overdo it. I don't want to harm them and stuff like that. Yes. So depending, but I always explain that prior to the treatment, so they know that I be speaking to them more or less or not at all. So that's that. After the treatment, I always share with the clients what I felt, if I haven't already said that, because if it was a relaxing one, then I say it at the end of the treatment, what I found, because even with a light pressure I can still find stiffness and stuff, within the body. So then I tell them, okay, I found something, there and there. And if you wish, we can do a deeper massage next time, or I can tell them, I can show them some stretching exercises and advise them how they can manage it at home during the treatment, or just, if they don't wish to come back, then at least I can give them some advice to try to manage it for themselves. Yes, because why not? Then grounding. So, one more thing, I think actually the most important thing. With that all I've just said, I make sure that the client is the boss in here, okay? So they have the power over the session, not me, and they are in the place when they can say, I'm not comfortable with it or something. And before every single treatment, I also say, that's one of the most important words, in my opinion. If you feel uncomfortable, please let me know whenever during the treatment. Okay, you can't be feeling uncomfortable because the treatment won't be that successful. Yes, and then I've said about the breath work, but also quite often, especially recently, I've started doing more grounding. So when we start the treatment, during the breathing part and with the frankincense oil, I say you can imagine yourself relaxing from the top of your head through your face, shoulders, and etc. But also feel your weight on the table, and then they ground it. Okay. So that's one of those. And yes, when there is any emotional release occurring, I hold the space. So I don't judge them. I don't say that, I know what you're going through. I know what you're feeling, because I don't. Okay, everybody's different. Everybody has had, different traumas. So I may, knowing about her history, I may assume what it can be, but I can never be sure. So yes, I'm there. I can hold their hands. I can cuddle even them if they wish to, but to be sure that they know I'm here for them. Okay, I'm not escaping or I'm not judging or anything like that. Yes.
Oh, it's really good. You also work with what you call somatic archetypes, patterns the body holds as a result of lived experiences. Could you share a little about these trauma patterns and how they show in the body?
Yes, of course. I've recently been very interested in that, actually. And that's so fascinating to know that the body, depending on the trauma, holds the emotions in a certain part of it. And it's just crazy how it's systematic. And well, anyway, there is a man called Wilhelm Reich, and he was a psychoanalyst, and he established 7 segments of body armor. Okay, and that's I would say, blueprints of our traumas. So, like I've mentioned before, for example, if you were suppressed from speaking out loud as a child, usually the traumas actually occur during our childhood. They're the most significant ones, because when we're older, we deal with the traumas a bit more. It doesn't mean that we process them well.
Yeah.
But you know that the most important are from the childhood. And you know what I've actually recently discovered as well, not realizing about it at all, because I thought a trauma is something major happening in our life. No, actually, it's proven that even a child, when they are not told by their parents, you're enough, you're safe, you're beautiful, you're intelligent. So let's say we cuddle the child, we think we give them, what it needs, without saying it. That's already not enough, because the child needs to hear it, okay?
Yeah.
And if they don't, they start looking for the approval, for, the confirmation that yes, I'm good enough, I'm safe, whatever, somewhere else. So for example, somebody may want to be the best at school, somebody may want to have always some friends, because they can't feel lonely, then they start blaming themselves that there's something wrong with them. Okay, so it goes like that. And blueprints, I would say, these are horizontal rings where the body holds chronic tension to suppress the emotional energy. Okay, and I will read out the 7 of Wilhelm Reich that he established. So I will read out the segment where the emotions are stored, areas involved, what it suppresses, okay, and the physical signs of it. So within the ocular area, so that's eyes, forehead, scalp, we suppress fear and suspicion, okay, and physical signs are like fixed stare, and like kind of we put a mask on our face. Okay, so mask-like face. Then oral, so that would be mouth, jaw, and throat. It suppresses crying, anger, and sucking. So then we grind our teeth, okay, and we get a tight chin as well. Okay, I think some of people, when they listening to it, they probably like, okay, that's me.
I'm already like that.
Yes, okay, I've got
like,
it.
Yeah,
Exactly. So then cervical, deep neck, and tongue, we suppress anger and self-control, and the signs will be stiff neck, inability to let go, which I've noticed a lot of people have. Thoracic, so the chest, shoulders, and diaphragm areas, and we suppress heartache, grief, and longing. So I think every one of us finds themselves in a situation, a place when we lose somebody. So that's the grieving process, and if it's not properly processed, then that's where we hold the emotions, okay? So that's easier to understand it. And then we get shallow breathing and sunken chest. And a lot of clients of mine, when I do, honestly, they don't even have to go on the bed. I just see, speaking to them, okay, I'm already, because I feel like I've got an X-ray in my eyes, even like walking somewhere, I don't know, I go to a shop or wherever. My gosh, actually it's been since I was doing fitness classes as a fitness instructor in Poland, so that will be like 15 years ago or something. And I was like, my God, I'm like, fixed, with it. And I was like, I can't see. I just see somebody and I know about the posture already. Yeah. I know what they're doing. And quite a lot of times, people just close their chest. And again, that's protecting the organs that we are, trying to curve up again as the baby. Okay, that's all makes sense. So then the fifth one, we've got diaphragmatic, so that's solar plexus and stomach. And it's we suppress rage and gut fear. So, you know, in my opinion, our guts, that's our intuition, and it is there for something. Okay, otherwise we wouldn't have had it. Yes. Yeah. So, and I think I'm in the place that I can't say that because I have not listened to it a few times in my life. Okay, when it was telling me like so strongly, you know what's going on in here, but I didn't want to listen. And then afterwards I did find out that you know, I was right.
Yeah.
So I wish, not I wish, because I wouldn't change anything in my life, but now I feel like it's taught me a lot. Like, you need to trust yourself. Your guts are telling you that for a reason, and I always follow it now. So, and the physical signs will be digestive issues and not its stomach. So thank you very much. I've been there. I've had it. I don't have it anymore. And I'd rather to stay like that. So, and I know about a lot of people having digestive problems now. So, but it's all stress connected, and you know, speedy life, and honestly, and the pressure from everywhere, from media, from others. So no wonder we are that unwell nowadays. Yes, but I think more and more people are.
Plus poor diet as well.
Oh, absolutely.
Quick diet.
Yes. And plus the, you know, lack of availability of the really healthy food. It's so hard to find it now, and it's like all is, you know, processed, and all has some, preservatives in it, and you know, it's not good for our body. And but you know, I think in the case of us living within this age, the century, it's the best to, I know what's going on, but I make the effort to stay as healthy as I can, and that's all, not like blaming anybody, or, you know, it is what it is, yes. And I think like worrying about it or getting stressed about it never would help anybody. So that's where I've been as well, because I was annoyed with everything. But now I just took it on my shoulders, I would say, and you know, do whatever you think is the best for your body. And I always listen to my body, and the same I say to my clients, always listen to your body. But to listen to it properly, you need to calm down your mind. Then you'll hear everything, because your body will tell you absolutely everything. Okay? So the sixth one is abdominal area, belly, lower and lower back. And we suppress fear of attack and spite. And yes, we would get a hard abdominal wall. So that would be when you feel like there is some tension in your lower back, or your belly, like being like, but you know, squinted, or you know, when you feel the tension. So that's that. Then the last one is pelvic. So that would be pelvis and hips and glutes, which is quite, you know, there is a tendency for people to be coming with problems in those areas. And especially now, almost everybody I can see they have the glutes tight, the thighs as well, because you know, within the hip area, so the hip joints, we have the most muscles attached in our body. So whenever something is going on there, that would affect something else, and then something else, and then something else. So that's how we get, quite often I see people get sciatica. So you know, it's quite a common occurrence now for me, and a shame that it can't be treated by the doctors, or even, you know, like recommended. That's what like used to annoy me a bit. Why is it the way it is? But I think, in my opinion, we're getting bigger. The holistic treatments are evolving, and you know, absolutely more and more people are realizing they need something else. Not only, you know, going to a doctor and getting tablets, because that covers only the symptoms, not the root of the cause. Okay, so there is more and more people wanting to go through like even a spiritual healing, you know, and yes, it's I can see it is becoming different. It is becoming much better, and people are more open-minded as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I feel like sometimes people go to doctor and they get, for example, some tests to do, like X-rays or whatever, or blood test, and there's nothing that is wrong, and they still don't know what it is. And that's, I think, where the holistic approach is really important.
Yes, I agree.
Or alternative ways of...
Because, you know, I don't say that they would have to give up the medication, because you know, I can't tell people, no, stop taking that or that. But at least we could combine both of them and see what's happening. And I've actually, because I had a meeting with Welfare Commission recently, and I did propose something like that, and all what we say, it goes to MPs. And you know, if there is any intention in it from the MP or anything getting done, it's another story. Okay, but at least, you know, more and more people speak about it, and I can see even myself when I meet them, because it's a monthly meetings, so I can see how much more people are open to things like that, like vitamin D intake, and holistic approach, and how we can help ourselves during the daily basic. Yes. So yeah, absolutely. To finish it off with the pelvis and hip and glutes area, we suppress pleasure and survival. Okay. And
makes sense.
Yeah, we get locked pelvis and tight psoas. So that's the muscles around the hip area, which would of course make sense in the sciatica, because that's where the sciatica starts. We have glutes, one of the biggest muscles in our body. Under the glutes we have a very long, tiny actually muscle called piriformis, and under it runs our sciatica nerve. So when the glutes become tight, they start squeezing the piriformis muscle, which gets tight as well. And then, of course, it causes in suppressing the sciatica nerve, which can run from the lower back through your whole neck up to even your foot. So, and some people know how bad it can get. Okay, they can walk, they can sit, they can drive, stuff like that. I've had a client actually, seriously, 5 years, she was going to doctors, they were doing everything for her. But they never knew actually what it was. She got one massage from myself and in my previous work even, and she said for the first time she walked throughout our whole town in here with no pain after 5 years. Okay, so and I've heard many stories like that. So that, you know, I think tells us everything. Yes.
Yeah, it tells quite a lot.
Yes.
So for someone who's never experienced emotional release during body work, it can feel a bit mysterious or even intimidating. What can happen during and after treatment when emotional release takes place? And how do you support clients through that process? So as the physical tension melts, stored emotions can surface. And this is a biological reset, where the HPA axis, which is the body thermostat, recalibrates. Okay, and the HPA is that's 3 glands. So that's hypothalamus, pituitary gland, and adrenal gland. So they communicate in between themselves when there is a threat, danger, okay, and then the signals are sent to the brain, okay, we're not safe in here. Yes. And with
clients who experience the emotions surfacing, there can be different, I would say, different ways of processing, releasing it. And it can be tremoring, shaking, for example. And it's normal, quite natural in this case. There may be also a spontaneous movement. So, it's the movements when the body actually didn't do during the trauma that it wanted to do. But it didn't do because it didn't have time, or didn't want it. I mean, it wanted at that time, but there was some restrictions. So, it was like kind of stored in the memory of the body. So that's when they do it. It's like another one is breathing very deeply, like even sides you can hear like somebody's like, so then or even just observing them, you see when the chest is rising and it's a very deep, long breath, like normally people don't do. Okay, and that's then when it's like, that's when you're letting go of the stuff that is stored in you, within you. Then we can experience sudden tears, laughter as well. Some people say, I couldn't stop laughing even during Reiki, for example. And that's it, we're releasing something. That's the autonomic settings. And we can also yawn. Yawning is releasing as well. And post-massage, we can get brain fog or lightheadedness. So it's hypotension as the body moves into deep safety. Okay. And I think I did say about the chills. So when we get a bit cold, because I've had a client who had to always go to a bed after her massage, because it was quite a deep massage, I have to say. So there was a lot of work done. She had a sciatica, and she was off for over a month. I think a week after she posted on Facebook something about looking for a chiropractor. Yes, I was like, okay, what was the cause, what's happening? And then when I found out, I was like, okay, it looks like a sciatica. So then I approached her. She lives actually 3 doors down. So I was like, you know what, I'm preparing to open a business. I do the treatments for free for you, and we'll see. And she had, if I remember, 4 of them, some of them up to even 2 hours, but she couldn't stand, she couldn't walk, she couldn't sit. When we were speaking, she would be up, down, because she couldn't do anything. Jesus. She couldn't sleep, okay, because it's so painful. And so the pressure was a bit bigger because we wanted to help her ASAP. For her to go back to work. Okay. And every single time she had to go to bed covered with put some more clothes on and put the duvet on, and she was like, I was just so like freezing. So that's caused by the drop in core temperature, okay, and peripheral vasodilation. So that means when we move the tissue and when we work closer to the surface on the skin, then when we stop working, we feel, because it was all warmed up, and when we stop working, we feel like, it's a bit chilly, because that's the natural response of the body. So that's that. And also the chills may occur because of reduced metabolic rate. That's what I would say about it.
So to close now, who would you say this kind of work is for? Is holistic massage only for people with trauma, or is it something that can support anyone on their well-being journey?
I would definitely say anyone. Firstly, because that's not always a relaxing treatment, but again, depending on the circumstances of the person's needs. Okay, it can bring you a relaxation. It can bring you like relief from pain. It can improve your posture. But especially for people with neck, so sitting at a desk too long, yes, then of course we can improve their posture and they would feel better. Even with sports people, when they do especially repeated movements, then you help them to relax that part of the body and they get like more flexibility. And for example, for like golfers, or I've had the best performance after the massage, because they don't even know how stiff they are until they get a proper massage. But with the holistic one especially, it's an invitation to return to homeostasis. Okay, so that's the whole of you, not only the physical body, but the emotional, the mental body as well included. So it's like giving them the safetiness in here and resetting their body to the state when they like go home. And that's my aim, I would say. Go home and like take it on, like, oh my God, what I have just experienced. Like something different, something magical, something that people need, especially now with all, like I said, that pressure. We're in rush so much that we don't stop. We actually never stop. So that's the moment of resetting, recalibrating, and coming back to yourself, I would say, because that's when you can actually properly listen to your body, what it needs. And I always say, just listen to your body after every treatment. It will tell you what you need to do. Okay, if you need a rest, do everything to get a rest. Of course, if you can't, try at least to slow down. Yes. Yes, with athletes who need to down-regulate after a season as well, okay, because they may be, quite into it, quite anxious as well, I would say, when there's so much going on, and they, of course, they want to perform, very well, then I would say to just, calm them down at the end and bring into the balance again, yes? And for anyone also who is feeling disconnected from the physical self. So that's what I've just, the wholeness, to come back. I call it come back home, because it's everybody's home, our body, okay? And to just know itself, know who you are again, because most of people have forgotten. There is, like I said, so many expectations, and we, especially with kids now, I can see the influence, the media. They don't listen to themselves. They look out there. Or what do I need to do to match them? What do I need to do to get more likes? What do I need to do to be respected, to be famous, etc., etc. Yes. So bringing them back, and I think absolutely that would be extremely beneficial for teenagers, in my opinion, nowadays. I treat them like that. Just calm them down.
I agree.
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much, Emilia, for sharing your wisdom, experience, and presence with us today. This conversation really highlights how deeply intelligent the body is, and how healing can begin when we feel safe enough to soften. And to our listeners, thank you for being here and for listening with an open heart. If this episode resonated with you, we invite you to pause, breathe, and notice what your body might be asking for today. Don't forget to follow us on Spotify, subscribe on YouTube, and connect with us on Instagram to stay close to upcoming episodes and conversations. And I also want to add that you can find Emilia on our Instagram page or your own, which is Sacred Whispers. But we'll put it.
I don't want to advertise myself, to be honest, too much. But no, the most important for me, I have to say, it's the message, to spread the message about how it's beneficial, how important, extremely important it is, in my opinion, nowadays. And not only the massage as itself, but the whole healing, the whole holistic approach, even with different treatments. Yes. So
Yeah, and I also want to add, don't wait until you collapse completely. Take care of yourself,
Yes.
people.
Yes.
Until
Please.
next time, take gentle care of yourself.
Bye.
Bye.